Hello again, YouTube. Grandpa Jacko here. Now I want to show you my everyday carry, and I want to answer a question why I chose a Glock 23. And the reason I carry a Glock 23 is because Hickok said so. Thanks for watching. No, just kidding, but Hickok did get me kind of started at looking at him. With his preferred, I don't want to speak for him, but in several of his videos he has mentioned that he prefers the Glock 23 or the Glock 27 and 40 caliber. And I don't want to start any kind of caliber war or caliber religion, as he says. I don't feel underpowered at all with a 9mm. My wife carries a 380 every day. She has a 9mm Bursa also that she keeps at her bedside, and she'll probably begin to carry later on, but right now she carries a 380, and I feel fine with her carrying that. You know, if we lived in Detroit or somewhere, you know, Chicago, downtown, somewhere like that, I might have a little issue. I don't know. I'm not in that situation, so, you know, for what we do, where we are, I'm comfortable with her carrying a 380 for right now, and I'd be comfortable with the 9mm. But as a lot of men are, yeah, give me something. I'm gonna want to have just a little more power, and I believe that the 40 has just a little more power, maybe not a lot. And from what I'm seeing now, this is February 2015. 9mm ranks right up there with 40. You do a plus P plus or a plus P ammo, and you get pretty much the same effects as a 40 with 2 extra rounds. I'm dating this at February 2015 because in another couple months I may change. But another reason I carry or I have a Glock 23, and this is all with Gen 4 also, is because I already have a Glock 19. Okay, so I already have a 9mm, so I tell you, I don't think one's any better than the other. I enjoy it just as well. I had it first, and super soft shooting gun. Great pistol, love it. I can't say enough about it. I wish I want to do a video on this later. I want to do my 1-year carry. It's March's, I think, my 1-year carry anniversary, so to speak. And I'm planning on doing a video on that, what I've learned in 1 year. I know that's not a lot compared to a lot of you. It's nothing compared to most of you, but I've learned quite a bit in a year, and it's interesting to look back and see the things that I've changed. If you go and watch some of my videos, excuse me, you'll see that, you know, I started out with mouse guns. I wanted something that I could hide in my underwear if I had to. You know, I wanted small, but I've come now to where I don't like that. I don't want the small mouse gun. I want a higher capacity. But that's for another video. Why did I go with a Glock 23 Gen 4 40 caliber? It is a larger round, not by much, and this is all going to be, you know, to me, and in what I've learned so far. Like I said, it may change, but I have that little bit more power, a little bit more oomph. I give up 2 rounds. The Glock 23 carries 13. You can get a Glock 22, which is the full-size magazine, to run in your Glock 23, and then you can carry 15 plus 1, so you can have 16 rounds of 40 caliber. The Glock 19 carries 15 plus 1. You can get the Glock 17 magazine, which will carry 17 plus 1. So, you know, you're always going to have 2 more rounds in the 9mm. I opted at this time for a little bit more oomph, short 2 rounds, minus 2 rounds, however I carry it. I also like that I get versatility with it. I can go to Lone Wolf or a couple of these other places. Sorry, I forget the names. I know there's a few other companies, but for about $100, I've seen them from $89.99 to $109.99. For Lone Wolf, I can get a 357 SIG barrel that simply swaps into my Glock 23, and I can shoot 357 SIG if I choose to. I can also get a 9mm barrel and put in my Glock 23 and have a second Glock 19, so to speak. You know, it can also shoot 9mm. You know, I'd have to swap the magazines, and I wouldn't carry it with the 19. I don't know about the extractor or ejector, if you need to change any of those. I don't know. That's why I have a Glock 19. Also, I can have my Glock 19 loaded, sitting in the house at all times while I'm carrying my 40. If I'm out and the wife happens to need something, she's got an extra 9mm sitting, you know, somewhere else throughout the house, instead of just one at her nightstand and one in her purse. There's another one there that she can handle, or one of the kids can handle. So it leaves me some more options that way. I just wanted the more power. Now, what scared me in the beginning from getting a Glock 23 was all these articles saying, oh my God, the recoil will kill you. The recoil is horrible. It's so snappy. It darn near twisted and turned right out of my hand, and it's torquey. It's got a little more recoil than a 9. Physics and fact, you know, I mean, there's more power there, so there's going to be more recoil. But I'm here to tell you, to me, you know, this is me, it just wasn't really that noticeable. I mean, yeah, you could tell, you know, but it wasn't like, oh, I can't shoot that thing. We shot, we had a SIG 938, little bitty 9mm, and in my opinion, I shot it side by side with the Glock 22 Gen 3, which is supposed to have more recoil than the Gen 4. That's for you to decide. I don't know. To me, the Gen 4 had less recoil. I hear people say that they're the same, and that's, you know, it's perceived recoil for a reason, because it's how you perceive it. To me, the SIG 938 recoiled just as sharply as the Glock 22 40 caliber. It really did. It had a serrated trigger on it, and every time I shot it, man, it bit my finger, bit the end of my finger. It snapped into my wrist, and to me, I turned to the wife while I was shooting them, because she was thinking about selling the 938 because she didn't like the recoil on it. It was actually her gun, and I was shooting it side by side with the Glock 22, and I even told her it's the same. It feels the same to me. There's really no difference, you know. And people that can carry the 938 and shoot it all day long, I really would challenge you to shoot a 40 caliber and tell me if you notice a difference. Maybe you do. You know, it's perceived for a reason. It's how you feel it. But to me, there wasn't any difference. There wasn't much difference. I had a Shield and an XDS-9. Loved them. Great guns. Great guns. 9mm pocket guns, in the waist gun, or small guns, mouse guns. You know, I don't want to use a term that's derogatory toward them because they're great guns, but they're small, subcompact, I guess I could say, subcompact guns. Worked great. Never had a malfunction. As a matter of fact, I haven't owned a gun yet that I had a malfunction within a year. They've all worked great, but they were snappy. They were smaller guns, and that's why. You know, you got a lot of power coming out of a small gun. You're going to have a little bit of snap and a little bit of recoil or a little bit of push. And to me, going to the 40 just wasn't that much more difference. Now I shoot 180 grain 40 caliber, and this is a 9mm next to it. I don't have my hollow point. I have to get some more hollow point to show for the 40. But there's just not that much difference, in my opinion, to a smaller 9 and the compact version or mid-size of a 40 caliber. Now, the only 40 caliber I've shot is a Glock, Glock 23 and a Glock 22, the full size. But after I shot it, I thought, wow, really? What was I afraid of? I should have got this a long time ago. I like the feel of it. I like pulling the trigger in it, and you know, there's a pow, and you know that you've shot a gun. You know, but it's not overly so to where it's like, wow, I don't want to do that again. I had no problem shooting it. I will admit that a 9mm Glock 19 versus the 9mm Glock 23, maybe you've seen my video I've done already where I came home from the range and the guns were still warm, and I videoed it that quickly because I wanted it that fresh in my mind as I recorded my thoughts. The guns were still actually warm. The 9 and the Glock 19, yes, there was hardly no flip, hardly no recoil, hardly no snap, hardly nothing. And you know, so on target, I could do it a lot quicker. I know that, but it wasn't like shooting a 23 took 10 minutes, you know, to come back on target, like some people are saying. It just wasn't that big of a difference, you know. I could have even shot it faster, but I didn't want to get in trouble for rapid fire on the range. I had no doubt, you know, that I was back on target. I just waited to pull the trigger. And if I've got a criminal standing 2 feet in front of me getting ready to do me harm, I'm not going to use my sights anyway, really. I mean, you know, 2 feet, I'm going to point and shoot. And I don't see where the larger problem, as people are saying, would be. I didn't see it to me. Maybe you will. My wife hasn't shot the 40 caliber yet. She's smaller, has smaller hands. You know, maybe to her it'll be a huge difference. But me, 6 foot, 200 pounds, plus a few Big Macs, a couple large pizzas, I didn't notice that big a difference. I really didn't. You see the grip that I have on it, Hogue grip. It's there just because I wanted to do something to fix up. Actually, I bought it for the 19. I liked it. I liked the feel of it. It's comfortable. I didn't buy it because I had to have it. As a matter of fact, I haven't shot the 40 yet with the grip on it. I didn't have it on there when I've shot it a few times before. I did notice when I shot a little more of a push to the back, and so I felt it right here on my hand a little bit. There was no pain, no hurt. It wasn't ow or nothing. It just, that's where I felt. I noticed that I felt it, and I didn't feel it on the 19. I was still able to come right back, you know, with my shot. I love the gun. I love it. I'm looking now at the Glock 30s to even go up to a 45 because the guy just wants to have a little more power, okay? So I'm looking. Don't tell the wife, though. I'm not allowed to buy another gun for a while. So I'm looking. That brings me to another point, too. Another reason why I wanted to go with a 23 with 40 caliber. I mentioned that you can get different barrels and change them to 357 SIG or to 9mm. Ammo. Now I just got into this about a year ago, a little more than a year ago when I first got into it. I've been carrying, I think I started carrying in March, February or March, I can't remember. I'll have to look at my permit. Excuse me. But I remember a lot of times going to the gun stores or to Walmart, and I couldn't find 9mm. They were just flat sold out of 9mm. I thought, wow, you know, this is bad. But they always had 40 caliber. There was never a time that I went, and I'm Central Indiana, there was never a time that I went looking for ammo that I didn't see 40 caliber. There were times I didn't see 45. There were times that I didn't see 9. Many times I didn't see 9. Fewer times I'd see 45, but I always saw 40 caliber. And I thought, why doesn't people carry 40 caliber? You know, maybe that's what I should have went with. There's always going to be ammo, or at least more options, you know, more times than not to have ammo. I'm watching it now. 9mm around. I haven't been yet where there wasn't any. There's been times I've been and they didn't have the kind I wanted, either the weight or the brand that I wanted. But there's always been 9mm there. I see that the prices are coming down a little bit more on it. Maybe it's that I just got in at the end of this big ammo shortage or this drought. That's very highly likely. But if it happens again, I want to be able to get some ammo for something at least. You know, I didn't want to get a whole bunch of different guns, a whole bunch of different calibers, excuse me, and try to stock up on 6 or 8 different calibers. I didn't want that. I wanted, at the beginning, I was going to go 9mm and stay 9mm. And after, you know, within this year, I thought, no, I don't want to do that. You know, I've got maybe 1,000 rounds of 9 sitting back there right now at this point, and not as much 40 because I just bought the gun, but I want to start stocking up on it as well and have a stock, a little bit of stock. You know, I'm not a prepper. You know, to each his own. I'm not judging, but I just don't do a whole lot of that. But I want to have some on hand in case, you know, we do have another shortage and I don't have any ammo. I don't want that to happen either. So I do want to have some sort of little stockpile of it. And I like the fact that with the 23, I can get 40 caliber, I think, more often than I could get 9, you know, in a shortage. At the same time, I could get 357 SIG and have a 357 SIG barrel, and I can shoot it as well, so I could stock up on 357 SIG ammo and have a Glock 32 at the same time. If I get a Glock 30 and go to a 45, I'm thinking about getting, what is it, I think the Glock 29 maybe, or the 20 that you can convert to 45. I might be wrong on that, but I'm looking into that to where I can have more options. So, you know, then I could have 45, I could have 40, I could have 357 SIG, I could have 9mm, and, you know, have a variety of it. So I'm kind of going back and forth with it, as you can tell right now in the last 2 minutes of my conversation. I didn't want a lot of calibers, but I'm talking about adding another one. I want to be able to have calibers or have ammo, you know, at any time. So I guess in the end, I went with the 23 because I wanted a little more power. I wanted just a little more oomph in the weapon that I shoot. And as I said, I already had a Glock 19. If you were sitting between a Glock 19 and a Glock 23 and you don't own either one of them and you're not going to buy both of them, you know, anytime in the near future, maybe a Glock 19 for the greater capacity. If you know you have a wife that doesn't want to shoot a 40 caliber, you know, she can shoot a 9mm easier, maybe. I don't see that big of a difference. To me, I already had a 19, I already had 9mm, you know, a pretty decent stock of it. I'm obviously wanting more, but I had a good pile of 9mm ammo and I wanted to move on to something else, and because Hickok said so. because Hickok rules, doesn't he? I love the guy. Learned a lot from him. Love his videos. Love his videos. Learned so much from him. And he was a big supporter of Glock 23 and Glock 27. But anyway, that's kind of why I went with 40 caliber and Glock 23. I hope it helps. Both of these were Gen 4. I don't know if I forgot to mention that or not. I don't think you can go wrong with it. I think it's a great weapon, and I love carrying it every day. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. And like I said, I didn't want to start a caliber war debate. I don't feel underpowered at all with a 9mm. If someone stands there and holds a loaded 9mm to my face, I'm their buddy. You know what I'm saying? Thanks again for watching.